What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am GoPony. I do new car, truck, SUV reviews on YouTube, and today we are in the brand new 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300, courtesy of Mercedes-Benz of Hagerstown, of course, in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so I'm in this one today because there's actually a couple nice changes, more new standard features really for the 2022 GLC. Also, this is an extremely good looking SUV, and we got the AMG line package, so there's a bunch of added stuff with that as well, of course. But in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, paddle shifters, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so essentially there are two different configurations for the GLC. You got the GLC 300 rear wheel drive starting at $43,850, and then you have the 4MATIC permanent all-wheel drive starting at $45,850. But regardless of which configuration that you go with, the power plant is going to be the same. Powering the beast is a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, putting out 255 horsepower at 5,800 RPM, 273 pound-feet of torque coming in at 1,800 RPM. Power center rear wheels are all wheels through a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters, which you guys know we will be testing out here in a little bit. 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 6.3 seconds for the rear wheel drive, 6.1 seconds then for the all-wheel drive. Both of those numbers extremely impressive actually. And MPG numbers coming in at 22 in the city, 27 highway for the rear wheel drive, 21 in the city, 28 on the highway for the all-wheel drive. It's kind of interesting, you get better highway MPGs in the all-wheel drive system here. But anyways, taking premium unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun paddle shifter or acceleration tests here in the GLC, I wanted to mention to you guys the drive modes. So there's a little button called Dynamic. It stands for Dynamic Select. It's going to give you different drive modes, including Individual, Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, steering sensitivity, and suspension settings. So now having got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find it straight away. Let's put the paddle shifters and acceleration here to the test at the same time, and let's see how quickly the paddle shifters react. And let's see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. All right, let's put it in manual shift mode here, and first gear, here we go. Oh gosh. Okay, two things. It's dang freakishly quick for an SUV, I'll say that. Definitely not gonna have any issues with merging onto the highway. That was wonderful. And second thing, paddle shifters, I feel like they're always quick in Mercedes-Benz, don't get me wrong, but they're a little bit quicker in maybe some of their cars and a lot of other vehicles. I feel like there was a little bit of a delay to the paddle shifters. It's not that bad. It's not like everyone's going to be using the paddle shifters in an SUV anyway, so quite honestly, I'm not sure it really matters all that much. But I will say that acceleration, that was a beast of an acceleration, man. That was fun. Anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 13.5-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 12.6-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 60-0 stopping distance goes, it is going to come in at a very impressive 110 feet. Having said that, braking feel has been perfectly fine in my short test drive here today, so definitely no issues when it comes to the braking. Touching on suspension and handling, up front, you're going to get an independent 4-link front suspension. In the back, independent 5-arm multi-link rear suspension. As far as ride quality goes, again, it's been perfectly fine. Definitely no issues with the GLC soaking up Hagerstown's road imperfections here, so I'm definitely digging that. As far as steering feel goes, it is a very noticeable adjustment depending upon which drive mode that you put it in. And again, the individual driving mode actually allows you to tailor the settings to your own liking. So I would probably put it in that personally, because I like the heavier steering feel that sport mode gives, but then I don't necessarily need that crazy acceleration that sport mode gives all the time. So I would probably leave in a regular acceleration, but heavier steering feel in that individual driving mode. So that's what I personally would do, but I do love the steering feel in the sport driving mode, I'll say that. As far as cabin noise goes, I do have the air on right now, but quite honestly, we're going 60 miles per hour, and it's a pretty quiet cabin, I gotta be honest. I guess it's to be expected since we're in a Mercedes after all, but it is noticeably quieter than some of the other SUVs that I've recently tested. So well done, Mercedes-Benz, for that. Then touching on visibility, I can see 100% perfectly fine out the back, and typically with a kind of somewhat smaller SUV like like the GLC, really shouldn't have any issues there. So that is 100% on point. Rain sensing windshield wipers also come standard on the GLC. Gotta love that. Essentially what that is whenever this thing detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's gonna automatically turn on these windshield wipers for you. So that's just one less thing you gotta worry about, kind of like automatic headlights. And there is an optional head-up display available for an additional $1,100 if you wanted to go that route. It's gonna project your speed, speed limit, and safety features onto your windshield in case you wanted to have a little added visibility there. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. All right, you guys, here she is, the new 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300, finished in polar white, in case anyone was curious of our exterior color name. But let's go ahead and start up front on this one here. Dual horizontal aluminum trim accents through that front grille. That is going to be the standard configuration, but we don't have that today, and here's why. We actually have the AMG line package. It goes from $1,950. That gives you the traditional diamond block front grille, which looks dang good, but that is what you guys are currently looking at right now, of course. Also, we have another option. In the middle of it all, we have the illuminated star. That is a $500 option if you wanted to go that route. That looks dang good at night. I always notice that when I'm driving at night and I'm passing a Mercedes. Not all of them have it, but the ones that do, you can definitely notice it. It's pretty darn cool. But aluminum trim then found on the lower portion of that front bumper, unless you go with the AMG line package, and then it's going to be gloss black. To the sides, LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. It comes with the automatic feature, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, those headlights will turn on automatically for you then. But then one of the newly standard features for the 2022 GLC is going to be automatic high beams, meaning when it senses a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to dim those high beams back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bump it back up to high beams. So again, one less thing you got to worry about. But that pretty much rounds out the front end of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side of the GLC. All right, so now since we are around to the sides, satin aluminum roof rails do come standard. However, again, the AMG line package is going to turn that into gloss black, and that's going to be pretty much the universal theme for everything that I'm going to say when it comes to the exterior, at least. Satin chrome window surrounds, unless it's the AMG line, then it's gloss black. Rear privacy glass does come standard across the board. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are body colored power adjustable side mirrors. They will be heated with LED integrated turn signals coming standard, and blind spot warning indicators as well, which is always a good thing. Taking a look down at the wheel configurations, 18-inch 5-spoke alloys is going to be the standard setup. 19-inch AMG twin 5-spoke alloys is currently the configuration that you guys are looking at right now, and that of course comes with the AMG line package. And then there are actually plenty of 19-inch and 20-inch wheel designs that are going to be available for some added personalization as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the back of this one. And so, but now since we are around to the back, rear spoiler with an integrated brake light does come standard. Just below that, rear window wiper, LED taillights coming standard across the board as well. You do have the 4MATIC badging if the particular GLC that you end up going with is equipped. That's the all-wheel drive system, of course. And just below it all, you will find an extremely good-looking rear diffuser. Heck yeah, that's with the AMG line package, by the way, but that looks dang good. But then to the sides, integrated dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. And so, but now since we are around to the back of the GLC, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a power tailgate that does come standard for all trim levels across the board. There's actually a button on the key fob. There's also a button on the driver's side door and a button on the tailgate itself, of course, as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 19.4 cubic feet behind that second row. If that was not enough space, there is a 40-20-40 split, and it is a power folding second row. So there's actually a button in the cargo area. Just simply press that and they're going to automatically fold down for you. But once folded down, that is going to bump that up to 56.5 cubic feet. Also in that cargo area, you will find some cargo lighting. There is a rear cargo cover that comes standard. There's a 12-volt power outlet back there, and then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you're actually going to find a spare tire along with a decent amount of in-floor storage as well to store maybe a tire inflator kit or an ice scraper or something like that. So actually is a decent amount of room back there, so I liked that. Then make our way to the rear legroom. That is going to come in at 37.3 3 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the second row there. There is going to be rear ventilation that comes standard, rear center armrest with cup holders as well. And if you wanted heated rear seats, that is an option for $580 if you wanted to go that route. But then making our way up to the front seats, power adjustable front seats with 4-way power lumbar and thigh support coming standard. All of those adjustment buttons found on the driver's side door, of course, in typical Mercedes fashion. Memory settings then for up to 3 different drivers, also found on the door there. MB-Tex upholstery coming standard, heated front seats coming standard, ventilated front seats going for $450 if you wanted that, and then full leather seating going for $1,620 if you wanted to go that route. But overall, seating was of course plenty comfortable with all the different adjustments that you have. You really shouldn't have any issues finding your perfect driving position in the GLC. Now make our way to the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. I like how the bolsters, the 10-2 grips, are a little bit on the thicker side. That is definitely a good thing in my personal opinion. Leather wrap steering wheel does come standard. You can get a heated steering wheel for an additional $250 if you wanted to go that route. We do have that today and I absolutely love it. But anyways, then making our way to the startup, let me start by showing you guys the key here. Essentially all of your buttons are located on one side of the key, being lock, unlock, and that button to pop the rear tailgate there. But it is all keyless entry with a push button start, and then there's a remote start via the Mercedes Me mobile app, but don't have that hooked up of course. So I'm just going to put my foot on the brake here and press that engine start button located just by the driver's right knee then. And so once started up, speedometer is on your left, tachometer is on your right, and the whole thing that we are looking at least right now is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. And by the way, that's a $750 option. Analog gauges do come standard, but since we have the digital gauge cluster, did want to mention to you guys, if you go in through system and then designs and displays on the infotainment screen here, there's actually a few different gauge configurations that you could choose between, like classic, sport, and progressive, completely changing the look of the gauges. So I absolutely love that. If you're going to have digital gauges, you might as well make it customizable like Mercedes-Benz is doing here. So I am a big fan of the gauges. Of course, it comes with everything you would expect, like outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, and so on. But anyways, let's now go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. There is a panorama roof available for $1,500. We don't have that today. Dual zone climate control does come standard. Garage door openers can be found underneath of the frameless rear view mirror for up to 3 different garage doors. Also coming standard. Oak wood trim available. That is pretty cool. We do have that, and it's a matte oak wood trim, by the way, as well, which I personally prefer. It gives a nice little texturized finish to it there. Wireless phone charger goes for $200 if you want that. Premium package goes for $700. We do have that one as well, but that gives you 64 colors of ambient lighting and a hands-free power tailgate. So I know somebody was going to ask if it's hands-free at some point in this video, so that's your answer. Get the premium package. But overall, interior quality was excellent. I always love the ambient lighting in Mercedes-Benz. I always say they do it better than any other manufacturer out there as far as ambient lighting goes, so definitely a big fan of that, and very high-end finishes of course. But then making our way to the infotainment screen, a 10.25-inch color touchscreen display does come standard. Bluetooth and audio streaming coming with that, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, factory navigation system then as well. You can check out your climate control settings up there. There's actually a cool themes section if you kind of swipe up at the very bottom of that infotainment screen. It's going to give you a bunch of different themes that essentially adjust everything, including the panorama roof if you were to get that option, including the ambient lighting colors and a bunch of other things as well. So always get a kick out of the theme section in this. But of course you can also check out your radio information as well. So when it comes to the sound system, 6 speakers comes standard. That's what we have today. But there is a 13-speaker Burmester sound system that goes for $850. You can get that if you like. That comes with 590 watts and a 9-channel digital amplifier. But again, that's not the one we have today. So what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Alright, gotta be honest, you guys. I've said this in so many of my videos. I test so many 6-speaker sound systems. I've probably tested over 500 sound systems at this point. For 6 speakers, that's pretty darn good. There was a decent amount of bass. Clarity was pretty alright as well. I mean, it's definitely not going to be as good as the Burmester, but like I said, for 6 speakers, I personally would be fine with that. That was a pretty good sound system, if I'm being honest. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen, of course, is when you do put this thing in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. There is a surround view monitor available that goes for $600 if you wanted to go that route. And as always, that is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, the GLC is an IIHS top safety pick, which is excellent. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. Driver's knee airbag up front as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, Mercedes-Benz emergency call service, meaning if you get into an accident, they're going to automatically call you, see if you need an ambulance or the police or anything else, which I love. Blind spot assist with rear cross traffic alert, attention monitoring system, crosswind assist, which is something I still haven't seen on any other manufacturer. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but kind of prevents you from swaying into the other lane when it's super windy out. So I love that feature. Parktronic with active parking assist as well. Then if you were to go with the driver assistance package, it goes for $1,700. That is going to give you adaptive cruise control, active steering assist, evasive steering assist, active brake assist with cross traffic function, automatic emergency braking, speed limit assist, lane keep assist, lane change assist, and route-based speed adaptation as well. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here, excellent styling, very quick acceleration. Honestly, I was impressed when it comes to the acceleration, a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. Great braking as well. 60 to 0 in 110 feet is like sports car good, honestly. That's excellent. The best ambient lighting of any other manufacturer, in my personal opinion. As far as room for improvement goes, the safety features that I rambled off there, part of the driver assistance package, that should come standard. A lot of that does come standard on other brands like Honda and Toyota and non-luxury brands even. So Mercedes, if you're watching this, I would try to make that standard in the future. But quite honestly, that's really all I got. This is finished pretty darn good, but let me know what you guys think of the GLC in the comment section below. That is about it for this one, you guys.
2023 Lexus RX First Drive Review, the complete package. The Lexus RX has been our go-to luxury midsize crossover for a long time when it comes to driving from A to B in comfort without spending an absolute fortune. The outgoing generation of RX that the 2023 model replaces has its issues, such as an infuriating infotainment interface, lack of driver engagement, sloppy handling dynamics, and a thirsty V6 engine if you don't go hybrid. But for us, and a specific comfort-oriented buyer, the list of pros outweighed the cons. You would quickly hit the law of diminishing returns by spending more money on a crossover for a comfier ride, a better cabin, and more standard features. For 2023, Lexus looked at where it can improve the model, then gave the RX a complete workover. Built on a new platform, TNGAK, that it shares with the Lexus ES and NX, it includes fresh styling, a new infotainment system, and replaces the base V6 with a 2.4-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine. The lineup starts with the RX 350 and its associated trims, then moves up to the hybrid 350h, followed by the RX 500h F Sport Performance model packing 366 horsepower. To see how the new model fares, we hopped behind the wheel at the US press launch. Cranking the style. The last generation RX exterior styling was on the bland side if you managed to ignore the grille. Its shape was old Toyota-like at best, giving away its close relationship to the Toyota Highlander. The new Lexus RX is a big step forward with a more sedan-like silhouette and the seamless grille appearing integrated into the bodywork rather than stuck on as an afterthought. There are more confident lines and shape to the RX now, and the light clusters are sharp and congruent with the overall aesthetic. The wheelbase is longer, which helps with comfort and stability, but the overall length is the same as the outgoing model. There's a negligible amount of extra width added, but it looks more planted due to the higher-looking beltline, lower center of gravity, and the visual trick of headlight lenses that wrap around the sides of the body. Lexus has also stepped up its paint game with the new copper crest paint, which was hard to photograph in the harsh midday California summer light but looked fantastic to the eye. A CarBuzz favorite in Nori Green Pearl is also available, as well as other standout colors like Matador Red Mica, Grecian Water, Blue, and Ultra White among the 10-strong palette. 3 flavors of performance. The most significant drivetrain change for the RX is dropping the thirsty naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 in favor of a 2.4-liter turbocharged inline-4 with an 8-speed automatic. The new engine's 275 horsepower and 317 lb-ft of torque is a few ponies shy of the V6 but with more torque on hand, and it's noticeable in how smoothly the new RX pulls off the line. It's more fuel efficient at 25 miles per gallon combined, but the caveat is that the Turbo 4 runs on premium fuel. In the hybrid lineup, the RX 350h reduces horsepower to 246 but increases fuel economy to an estimated 36 miles per gallon courtesy of a CVT. At the top of the line is the RX 500h F Sport with a large bump to 366 horsepower and a combined 406 lb-ft but a dip down to 27 miles per gallon, blending hybrid efficiency and performance in one, foregoing the CVT for a 6-speed automatic. We don't have pricing yet, but we're confident given the RX isn't going to be bought en masse for its corner carving performance. The 350 is going to rightly make for the bulk of the new model's sales. Matched with the 8-speed auto, it's a confident and smooth drivetrain that packs enough torque and refinement to never strain. On the road. We spent the day driving all three flavors of the RX, and they all had one thing in common. The RX is a comfortable cruiser with the kind of quiet and smooth ride that can easily cause you to find yourself cruising along feeling like you're doing 60 miles per hour when you're doing 80. The suspension is firmly damped but perfectly tuned with the spring rate to deal with bad roads and bumps. That's improved more by adding adaptive suspension, but it only comes on the F Sport handling and F Sport performance, which feels like a missed opportunity. Also on F Sport models is Lexus's dynamic rear steering for improved stability at high speed and maneuverability at low speed. While the F Sport is the performance version, we felt it was unnecessary to have a sporty version. It rides nicely, accelerates well, and corners well, but, to us anyway, it misses the point of the RX. We would stick with the 350h and enjoy the balance of premium comfort and fuel economy. Maybe it's time Lexus thought about having a luxury badge as well as a performance badge here, as it does on certain other model lines. Interior refinement. The previous generation RX was a high watermark for interior comfort, and nothing has changed. The seats are comfortable, and the whole cabin features premium materials. Despite the numbers reading similarly to the outgoing models, there's more practical room for everyone, including those in the rear. There's no third row for this generation, so if you need to transport more than 5 people, it's time to look elsewhere, or perhaps at a larger Lexus LX. What makes us particularly happy is the new touchscreen, voice-controlled infotainment system, and lack of the annoying trackpad interface that blighted Lexus for years. It's accessed through a 14-inch screen, comes standard with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and has integrated Apple Music and Amazon Music. In addition to touch, the infotainment can be controlled by voice commands, including the cloud-based navigation system with Google Points of Interest, POI. A Wi-Fi Connect hotspot is available via AT&T service, as is SiriusXM. We found the infotainment system a little laggy, but it's brand new and will be improved by over-the-air updates. The voice recognition is excellent and doesn't struggle like other systems with accents. Despite the lag, this is still vastly better than the old system. Verdict: approaching perfection. In essence, the new Lexus RX is closing in on perfection as a package. It's easy to drive and as smooth as other premium vehicles but at much higher prices. The new infotainment system fixes the most significant usability issue with the RX. The slight bump in fuel economy, 3 miles per gallon combined, is a welcome improvement, as is the extra torque, rear legroom, ride quality, and new styling. The only genuine fault we can pick is in the lagginess we experienced with the infotainment system, but we're aware we were driving pre-production vehicles. As a first drive impression, the Lexus RX has leveled up for its new generation. It's now a vehicle we look forward to test driving over a full week to ensure it is the complete upgrade over the last generation we think it is. If so, existing Lexus customers will love it, and BMW X5 and Audi Q7 customers that shrug at the idea of spirited driving should test drive it. Even if they do, unless they want the sharpest experience on a back road, the F Sport version is quick and holds a corner. We would take the savings on gas though, and cross-shop the 350h once the pricing is announced.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.